Welcome to Culture and Education. Today, we're diving into a story that's basically the definition of American boyhood, a novel packed with adventure, rebellion, and a secret so dark it could get you killed.
Now, this isn't just some random question. It's the moral crisis right at the very heart of Mark Twain's masterpiece, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. We begin in the sleepy little Mississippi River town of St. Petersburg, Missouri, which is pretty much a stand-in for Twain's own hometown. And this is where we meet our hero, the super imaginative and, let's be honest, incredibly mischievous Tom Sawyer. Right off the bat, Twain shows us exactly who this kid is. See, he's been punished by his Aunt Polly, and he's stuck whitewashing this huge fence on a beautiful Saturday. But does Tom do the work? No way. He brilliantly rebrands the chore as this exclusive, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He uses some truly masterful reverse psychology and gets his friends to actually pay him with marbles and other junk just for the chance to do his work for him. It's hilarious, and it's a perfect intro to Tom's character. And that fence scene, it's not just funny, it perfectly sets up the main conflict of the whole book. You've got Tom's world on one side. It's all about pirates, adventure, total freedom. And on the other side, you have society's world, church, school, and so many rules. Tom basically lives to push against that world, always looking for his next big escape. But Tom's adventures, they're not all fun and games. In fact, things are about to take a really dark turn when he and his buddy Huckleberry Finn, the town outcast, decide to sneak out to a graveyard at midnight. They're only there to try some weird, superstitious cure for warts, but what they see instead is pure evil. They hide and watch in absolute horror as Injun Joe murders the young Dr. Robinson and then frames the town drunk, Muff Potter, for the whole thing. The boys are terrified Injun Joe will come after them next, so they swear a blood oath to never tell anyone what they saw. Just like that, their childhood games are over. They're now witnesses to a murder bound by a deadly secret. So when you're carrying a secret that heavy and you're sick of civilization anyway, what do? Well, if you're Tom Sawyer, you run away. He, Huck, and their friend Joe Harper do what pretty much every kid dreams of doing. They escape to an island on the Mississippi to live as pirates. And they're having an amazing time. No school, no rules, just freedom. That is, until they realize the town thinks they've drowned. This gives Tom a brilliant, if maybe a little twisted, idea. What if they showed up to their own funeral? And they do. The boys stroll into their own funeral service and become instant town legends. But, that high doesn't last. Soon, Muff Potter's murder trial begins, and Tom's conscience starts to kick in. It's eating him alive because he knows an innocent man is about to be hanged for a crime he didn't commit. This is the choice he has to make, and it's terrifying. Does he keep his promise to Huck and stay safe, or does he speak the truth and face whatever a cold-blooded killer might do to him? The fate of an innocent man and his own safety are on the line. So what does he do? In the most dramatic moment of the story, Tom just can't take the guilt anymore. He jumps up in the middle of the courtroom, breaks his oath, and tells everyone what he saw, pointing his finger right at Injun Joe. The place explodes into chaos, and Injun Joe smashes through a window and escapes. In one single moment, Tom becomes both a hero and a marked man. Muff Potter is free, but Tom and Huck are now living in constant fear. They know Injun Joe is out there somewhere. The adventure is far from over. In fact, it's all building to this final confrontation filled with treasure, terror, and one last huge test of courage. Things get even more intense during a town picnic, when Tom and Becky Thatcher get completely lost in this massive cave system. For 3 whole days, they're wandering in total darkness, running out of food, facing starvation. And deep inside that cave, Tom runs into the one person he never wanted to see again, Injun Joe. But even terrified, Tom keeps it together, finds a new way out, and saves them both.
So, to make sure no one else gets lost, Becky's father has the cave sealed up with a big, heavy door. It makes perfect sense, but it has this horrible, unintended consequence. 2 weeks later, Tom hears about it and is just struck with horror. He realizes something nobody else does. Injun Joe was still in there, and when they open the cave, they find him starved to death right by the entrance. But this whole terrifying ordeal has an incredible silver lining. Tom, being clever, figures that Injun Joe's stolen treasure must still be hidden in that cave. He and Huck go back, find it, and discover a chest of gold worth $12,000. They're not just heroes anymore, they are unbelievably rich. So when you look at the whole story, you see that The Adventures of Tom Sawyer isn't just a thrilling ride. It's a perfect example of what's called a Bildungsroman, which is just a fancy term for a coming-of-age story. And that leaves us with this final, really interesting question. Huck, who's now rich and adopted, hates his new civilized life of rules and manners and tries to run away again. Tom convinces him to stay, not by forcing him, but by promising more adventures, just with a bit more structure. And it really makes you think, is real freedom a complete escape from society, like Huck wants? Or is it about finding a way to be yourself within the world you live in? If you found this insightful, please subscribe to the Culture and Education channel. We've got a lot more deep dives into classic literature and big ideas coming your way.